All right, today we are diving deep into a true Portuguese classic, Bacalhau à Lagareiro. Now this is one of those dishes that proves you don't need a million ingredients to create something absolutely spectacular. It's all about quality and technique. So let's get into what makes this dish so incredibly special.
You know, the name itself, Lagareiro, is your first big clue. It literally means olive oil miller. And that one word, well, it tells you everything you need to know about the heart and soul of this recipe. This is a tribute to olive oil. It is the undisputed star of the show.
So what do you actually need to make it? The whole philosophy here is quality over quantity, right? We're taking just a handful of pretty humble ingredients and we're going to make them shine.
Okay, here's our lineup. You've got your thick salt cod loins, some small potatoes, skin on, very important, a nice big onion, and then, oh boy, the aromatics. We're talking bay leaves and a serious amount of garlic. The recipe basically says use as much as your heart desires. Love that. Then you just finish it off with some black olives and fresh cilantro. See? Super simple.
Now let's talk about the three most important players here, what I'm calling the Trinity. First up, the cod. You've got to get nice, thick loins. And here is the single most crucial tip. Leave the skin on. That skin acts like a natural shield, locking in all the moisture and flavor while it roasts. Don't skip this. Next up in our Trinity, the potatoes. Again, we're using small, whole potatoes, and just like the fish, the skin stays on. Trust me, they're not just a side dish. Think of them as little sponges, perfectly designed to soak up all the incredible deliciousness we're about to create. And for the final and maybe most important part of our Trinity, the fat. And let me be perfectly clear here, this is not a suggestion. This is non-negotiable. The dish has to, and I mean literally, swim in extra virgin olive oil. This is not the time to be shy.
Just to put a number on it, we're talking about 250 to 500 milliliters. That's up to half a liter of olive oil, and that should tell you everything. See, the oil isn't just a cooking medium here. It's a primary ingredient. It is the sauce.
Okay, let's get into the first act of preparation. This is where we start building those deep, foundational layers of flavor. And it all starts with the potatoes and that amazing oil. So when it comes to the potatoes, you've got a choice. Two paths you can take. Path 1 is the salt bed method. This is all about maximizing flavor. Baking them on coarse salt pulls out moisture and seasons the skin beautifully. Path 2 is just boiling them. This is your fast track, a quick pre-cook to get them tender. So you decide, are you going for deep flavor or are you trying to save a little time? Now while the potatoes are cooking, we make our liquid gold. You're going to combine that huge amount of olive oil with your sliced onions, all that glorious garlic, and some bay leaves. And the absolute key here, is low heat. You are not frying anything. You are gently, slowly coaxing out all those amazing flavors, letting everything soften and infuse into the oil. Patience is everything. All right, our components are prepped and ready. Now we are heading into the climax of the recipe. We've got a really cool signature technique, the final assembly, and then the roast that brings it all home. This brings us to a really unique step, something that gives this whole dish its character. So what exactly is the murro?
Murro basically means punch, or a light strike. So after your potatoes are cooked, you take each one, wrap it in a clean towel, and just give it a little press with your palm. Now you're not trying to obliterate it into mashed potatoes. The goal is just to crack the skin, creating all these little fissures and entry points for that garlic-infused oil to seep right into the middle.
Okay, time for the grand assembly. First, you make a nice bed with those soft, sweet onions in the bottom of your roasting dish. Your cod loins go right on top, always skin side up. Then you arrange your punched potatoes all around the fish, and then, my favorite part, you drench absolutely everything with that beautiful, fragrant, infused oil. Don't leave a drop behind.
For the final roast, you've got two options again. You can go for a traditional roast at 200 Celsius or 400 Fahrenheit for about 15 to 25 minutes. Or, if you really want to guarantee that cod stays incredibly juicy, you can crank the heat way up to 250 Celsius, that's 480 Fahrenheit, and give it a quick flash roast for just 7 to 10 minutes. This cooks the fish through so fast, it doesn't have a chance to dry out.
Okay, the dish is out of the oven. Your kitchen smells absolutely amazing. But hold on, we're not quite done. These final touches are what take it from great to a total masterpiece. And here is a fantastic pro tip for you. If that cod skin isn't quite as crispy as you'd like it to be after roasting, no problem. Just grab a kitchen torch and gently blister the skin.
It gives it that perfect, slightly charred texture, almost like it came off a grill. It's a great little hack.
To serve, you bring the entire roasting dish straight to the table. This keeps everything piping hot and lets everyone see the beautiful result. You'll want to garnish it generously with fresh cilantro or parsley, scabber over some black olives, and maybe the most important rule of all, make sure you have plenty of good crusty bread on hand. You'll need it for dipping.
You know, this quote just perfectly sums up what we're aiming for. This is the goal, the destination of our journey. Incredibly juicy, flaky cod. Potatoes that are soft in the middle with irresistible crispy edges, and a big pool of delicious, aromatic oil that ties the whole thing together.
And that brings us to the end. You've made a dish that's somehow both rustic and elegant, and it's just packed with flavor. So the only real question left to ask is, what are you going to dip in all that liquid gold?